Okay.
Slippery snake.
Slippery snake.
Slippery snake.
Can you go? Now say slippery snake. By yourself.
Slippery snake.
Well, howdy do everyone, and welcome back to the ranch. I'm Dr. Lee, and it is another beautiful day in South Texas. Whole lot better than it was yesterday, and I'm hoping that part of 2020, that 94-degree part, is gone for good. And I hope the worst parts of 2020 are gone for good for you too. Anyway, good to have you here today. This is kind of going to be a sad video because we are retiring this guy right here. Kind of had a little catastrophe, maybe more than one, with him after our last video. I know we had him set up just like this on the last time too. And for those of you that haven't seen the last video, we had him down in Demolition Ditch, which has a pretty good grade going down into it, and pretty much smoked the clutch coming out of Demolition Ditch last time that we were down there. And I know a clutch is an expendable part, but also last week, and Luther is a half-ton truck, so he should be able to carry 1,000 pounds with no problem. But I had 500 pounds of deer corn in him, and I'm pretty sure we broke a spring. Had a pretty good pop, and since then he's kind of been listing to one side. So anyway, after that happened, we had the clutch issue, and then we had the spring break, and I thought, you know, these trucks, they only lasted 10, 15 years at the most. We didn't have the metallurgy, we didn't have the CNC machining and all that. We didn't have the sophisticated lubricants and all like we have now. For a truck to be working 67 years, Luther and I are both 1953 models, and I've already retired. He should be able to retire too. For him to still be working is a pretty good miracle anyway. So he has earned his day, and I have already bought his replacement. So anyway, for those of you that are new to the channel, this is my old truck. He is an integral part of this ranch. He's an integral part of our family. He's been on so many videos. It's just, you know, all of my viewers have fallen in love with old Luther. He's just a favorite, and he will still be around, but he will be participating in a different capacity than what you're used to seeing him as you have in the past. We won't be beating on him the way we have. And granted, he's had a fairly cush life, but you know, he's carried animals and kids and, you know, grandkids forever. We've just abused him. Interesting fun fact about Luther that some of you newer subscribers don't know. Luther was originally purchased out in El Paso by a veterinarian, and then that veterinarian sold him to a fella in San Angelo, Texas, who also was a veterinarian. Like he was purchased originally in 1953, brand new out in El Paso, and then he was sold and repurchased by another veterinarian in the mid-70s, and then Luther came all the way to San Antonio to spend the rest of his days here with another veterinarian, a little bit crazier veterinarian probably, on this ranch, and who knows where he will go from here. But anyway, Luther spent his entire life with veterinarians and in Texas his entire lifetime. But that's probably why he's in such good shape. Rust is the number one thing. These trucks were not engineered to deal with water. Chevrolet named this particular version the advanced design trucks, and they did not deal with water very well. All the trucks from the north rusted out, especially what they call the cab corners, which are these areas right there on the back of the cab. Those usually rusted out first, And when I checked Luther out when I first got him, there was nothing but dry sand down in those. Water's never been down in there at all. The only area that's got rust on it, the previous veterinarian that owned Luther had him he didn't have enough room in his shed, so the back part of the bed where it rained came off the roof, and he had a tarp that stayed back there most of the time. The tarp held water and rusted out part of the bed. So the bed does have some rust in it, and those issues need to be addressed. So what we'll probably do, there's 4 options that I have that we can choose to do with Luther in his retirement, and I will let you help me make our decisions on what we want to do with Luther. So anyway, for those of you that are new to the channel, a lot of people in the last 6 months or so have been asking about Luther. When they see him in the videos, they'll say, hey, tell us about that old truck. Because he is, and I must admit, not being braggartly, but I think he's a pretty cool old truck too. But a lot of people say, hey, tell us about the truck. And I did make a video about Luther a long time ago, and it was one of my early videos, so it was pretty bad. But I will give you a quick Luther tour and tell you a few fun facts about Luther, besides just being owned by 3 veterinarians in Texas his entire life. But one fun fact is you'll see a lot of chrome on Luther. You can see chrome hubcaps from here. And Luther, like I said, he's a 53. Well, 52s and 53s, when you see chrome on them, that's wrong. The bumpers, the grill, it's got great big pieces of grill on the front. I'll show you those in just a minute. And the front bumper, the rear bumper, all the hubcaps and the grill, and the dashboard is big. It's got a big piece of chrome on it too. They did not come that way. In 1952 and 53, we were at war with Korea, and it requires a lot of copper and a lot of zinc to make chrome. And those were very, very expensive metals to obtain at that time, because they were all going to the war effort to make ammunition. And so it was very, very pricey. And back then, these trucks were work trucks. They weren't like today, where cowboys drove these things to work, and they were show trucks like they are now. These were for working. You know, you earn your living with this. Carpenters drove these trucks, cowboys drove these trucks. These were for making a living. So it didn't, you didn't put chrome on these things, and you didn't spend the extra money, because chrome in 52 and 53 cost you a lot of money. The chrome was reserved for Corvettes and Bel Airs. The fancy, fancy cars is where the chrome went in 1952 and 1953. So what happened, and almost all these trucks now, you rarely see the painted hubcaps, the painted bumpers like what originally came on these cars in 52 and 53. What happened is, with time, the paint flecked off and they rusted and got crappy looking. So in the 60s, when all the painted versions were looking like hell, they replaced them with the chrome versions that were readily available at that time. So anyway, just some little fun facts right there. And also, like I said, these trucks weren't meant to last 10 or 15 years. And the motor that's in Luther is not the original motor. I did have the original motor, and a lot of y'all that saw Matt's video where he came out to the house and he got the El Camino, and there was a motor engine block in the back of the El Camino. That was Luther's original motor.
Gotcha. I see we also inherited a new engine.
Yeah.
You gonna put this straight 6 in the El Camino or something?
Yeah, that's up to you. That engine came out of old Luther.
That truck.
And why did I still have it? It got pulled out of Luther in 1957. It had a catastrophic failure in 1957. But why did we still have it? Because it had the serial number that matched the title. Back in 1953, the serial number on the title did not match the serial number on the body of the vehicle. It matched the serial number on the motor. So they kept the motor with the vehicle. So when I got Luther, I took him and the motor, and granted it had a different motor in it to power it. I took him and the motor down to the tax office, and I had them change the title so that the number on the title reflected not the number on the motor, but the number on the body of the truck. So now the number on the title matches the number on the body, not the number on the motor. So when Matt threw that old motor away and everybody freaked out about it, that was not Matt's bad. That motor was trashed, could not be rebuilt, but everybody freaked out anyway. So anyway, just another fun fact there. So all those people that complained about us throwing away a perfectly good engine block, that one could not be repaired. So anyway, let me get you down off that tripod and we will go over Luther here. So anyway, Luther, like I said, is in pretty good shape, but I'm afraid if we keep doing what we're doing with him, he's not going to be in good shape long. But anyway, there's all that chrome I was talking about. Any 53 that is in original condition will not have chrome grill, chrome bumpers, or chrome hubcaps. That right there will still be chrome. This will be chrome. That's stainless steel. This is chrome. It should be chrome. All these chrome pieces in here are chrome except for the grill. The grill should be painted. Interestingly enough, this one's got a radio in it, which is very, very rare for a pickup to have a radio. Most of them didn't. However, he spent the money on a radio, but he didn't spend the money on a heater, meaning he did not have a heater. None of these guys, including myself, not only did we not have a heater, didn't have a defroster. So Luther was not fun to drive in the winter, let me tell you. But down there's where a heater would have been, and you can see there's a door right there that's screwed onto the wall, and that's where the heater gets its air from the outside. There's a vent on the outside I'll show you in a minute. But not only that, but you can see an extra button down there. That's where the starter is. You turn the key on right there, and then you step on that. That turns the starter motor over. And there's the gear shift up here. It's a standard 3-speed, and that's called a three on the tree. And it's got the regular gauges. It's got a temperature gauge, oil pressure, battery gauge, and a fuel gauge. And there's a speedometer over there. And it's got 90 miles an hour on it, and I would hate to be in this truck at 90. I've had it up to 55, and that's a scary proposition. Most of these trucks are completely rusted out right there and right down there. And Luther shows very little rust, and commonly for them to be rusted out there. But like I said, this one did get some rust right in here from the way the guy had it parked, where the rain came off the roof. And there's some rust right there. We can deal with that. Tailgate has taken a billion hits. So I'll probably put a new tailgate in it, and I'll probably replace this panel right here too, just because that's the worst rust on this entire truck. And like I said, most of these trucks are rust buckets by now. Well, most of them are gone by now. But anyway, old Luther's in pretty good shape. Interestingly enough, they only put one locking door on these. You can lock that door, but you can't open it from the outside. The driver's door, you can't open it from the outside. Back in the day, angle parking was not a thing. You parallel parked, and they wanted you to parallel park, get out on this side, lock this door, and get back in it on this door. They wanted everybody to slide out on this side. So I don't know. But and there's the vent right there where the heater hooks up. I did buy a heater, and I bought a period correct horn for it too. It's got a pair of 1960s horns in it. And there's the new motor. Like I said, it had a 216 in it to start. This is a 235 with a 216 valve cover on it. And it's been changed. It had a 6-volt battery in it. And the battery is under the mat right there. The brake master cylinder is under the mat over there. People have a hard time finding those. They've never seen them before. And got a little single barrel carburetor on it, and got some corrosion on the radiator right there. I need to address that. But here's some horns, little plastic horns. You can tell those are from the 60s. So when I put the new heater and the new horns in there, we'll make a little video on that. But anyway, that is Luther. A cool old truck. And man, I mean, he's, like I said, he's hauled kids all over the place and animals. We've had a lot of fun with him, and it would just break my heart if we destroyed him. And I don't know that we would, but I don't want to take the chance. But anyway, I thought you guys would enjoy just a little bit of a Luther tour. Well, guys, that's about it from out here on the ranch today. Kind of a sad end of an era type video, but I guess it's also kind of maybe bittersweet, because we also get to plan for Luther's new future, and we also get to look forward to introducing Luther's replacement in the upcoming videos. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys are doing well, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. You guys take care. Always remember, I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. God bless you, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye now.
Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, one more time. Slippery snake.
Slippery snake.
Say it louder.
Slippery snake.
Very good. Can you say it again?
Slippery snake.
Now go slippery and then go
Slippery snake.
Say snake.
Slippery snake.
Ooh, very good. Very good.